If you follow this channel, you know I'm a huge proponent of triads. But a question I often get asked is, yeah, triads are great for rhythm, but how do you use them to solo, especially for rock? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do that directly. A couple of weeks ago, I rewatched the film Roadhouse. You know the movie, the one where Patrick Swayze saves the town from the evil businessman. I know, it's not Citizen Kane, but it's good fun. But the best part about it is Jeff Healey. He plays the leader of the house band in the film. If you're not familiar with Jeff Healey, he was an amazing player with an amazing story. I put a link in the description for you to check out after this video. Anyway, some of the sounds from Jeff in that movie were exactly what I was looking for to show how you can use triads and more broadly chords to produce solos that have real bite in them, some real rock and roll. So let's do that today. First, let's have a look at the music itself that we'll use, the backing track. G7, 4 bars, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G, 2 bars of D, and 2 bars of G to end it. So it's just a standard blues in G, all triads except for one G7. Let's literally use those chords to create our 12-bar blues rock solo. Okay, so the first chord is G7 and it goes for 4 bars. Now the first thought that most players have, including me, is to play the notes in the chord, like in an arpeggio. But that can be boring and it doesn't really sound like rock anyway. Instead, let's use the chord, but let's pick a note or two to bend to. So here's a G7 that we could use. And here's a 4-bar lick we could play over that G7. See how we're bending to that F, which is the flat 7 of G. And we're adding the root to that flat 7 to give it some real grit. After that, we're bending to the 3rd and landing on the root. Okay, those 4 bars of G7 sound rockin' enough. Let's do the next 4 bars. We've got 2 bars of C and 2 bars more of G7. Here's a C chord in the same area of the fretboard. And here's a lick that we can use over the C and then the G7 that follows it for 2 bars. This time we're bending to the 3rd of the C chord, the E on the B string 5th fret, like this. And then we're following up over the G7 chord with the lick that we used previously. This is an example of call and response, which is a very powerful musical device. Now we've got 2 bars of D. Here's a nearby D chord. And here's a D lick, very similar to what we did over C, just moving it up 2 frets. We end it all with 2 bars of G. Here's a nearby G triad. And here's a G lick we can use. We're bending to the G right here on the B string 8th fret. Did you notice that we use the same basic idea for each of those parts along with visualizing those 4 chords? Let's put it all together now for a 12-bar solo. There you go. That's the basics. To go even further and combine chords and scales together, click here, because I know you'll want more ideas than just bending to chords, and of course you'll want to combine it with the scales we know and love. So click here. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you on down the road.